The Prime Minister is committed to a major overhaul of the Closing the Gap strategy after a report showed just 2 of the 7 targets are on track. Indigenous leaders hope the shake-up will be a circuit breaker to save lives and improve employment and education outcomes.
For yet another year, a sobering report handed to Parliament about the level of disadvantage faced by Indigenous Australians.
It's a tale of hope, frustration and disappointment.
Successive governments failing to improve health and employment outcomes for First Australians, with 5 out of 7 targets not on track.
The people that suffer are not statistics, they are real people.
But there's been some improvement in 2 targets: the number of Indigenous children in preschool and those completing Year 12.
So at both ends of the school spectrum, we have made great strides in getting more kids into school and through school.
The annual address met with warmth from Aboriginal Minister Ken Wyatt, along with a frank acknowledgement after more than a decade of work, the latest results aren't good enough.
10 years of failure is problematic for a country like ours.
Others pushing for greater accountability.
We cannot keep coming back here year in, year out, wringing our hands.
You have had your continuous and continuing assessments, your report card, and it says you failed.
The 12th Closing the Gap report will be the last based on targets set in 2008. A new strategy will be unveiled in April, driven by Indigenous leaders rather than politicians.
We now have to stop making decisions from Canberra or from capital cities for Indigenous Australians. We have to sit with them.
Today I make the final report of an old approach, as well as the first report of a new era.
The new era discussed by Indigenous leaders and an NRL icon at an event in Parliament House, all united in hoping for a circuit breaker.
I think it's a giant step forward now that we have people of our culture at the table.
This must be a starting point, not the conclusion.
But it's only the start of another debate on the constitutional recognition referendum. Some Liberals raising concerns in the party room about a lack of consultation after Minister Wyatt declared he wanted a vote by June 2021. That date now in doubt. Are you still committed to a referendum before June 2021?
What we do have to do is build consensus and reach a point at which people are agreed in the way that we move forward.
The Prime Minister going even further in question time, declaring a referendum may not be called before the 2022 election.
What I'm interested in is that such a proposition would be successful. I am not going to allow, Mr Speaker, any timetables to prevent the successful achievement of this result.
Eliza Edwards, Sky News, Canberra.